Immediately terrified, like
Yeah.
absolutely terrified.
Like
Yes.
they're gonna remember this forever.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Baby Steps, sponsored by Oxford and Soho Baby, a podcast dedicated to exploring the personal and emotional journeys of parenting. I'm your host. My name is Medea. Today I have Madison, stay-at-home mom of two turned influencer. Madison, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
I'm very excited as well. So we're going to begin by going back to your pregnancy journey. So a
Which
few years
one?
back, which whichever one you'd like to talk about, both,
Okay.
whichever. So what are some of the most memorable moments during your pregnancies?
Oh man. The most memorable moment that obviously finding out when I was pregnant with my firstborn. Like the moment you find out that you get a positive pregnancy test and you find out that you're going to be a mom, I feel like something in you just immediately changes. It is
Hmm.
indescribable. It's weird because I feel like dads, they get that instant feeling the moment they see the baby, but for mom, we get that feeling when we see the positive pregnancy. It's like immediately we have to do everything to protect this little like grain of rice in our belly, right?
Yeah.
Um, Aside from that, the next most memorable thing would be finding out that I was pregnant the second time, which was a surprise. I actually found out unexpectedly I was going to get back on birth control, and they make you take a pregnancy test.
No way.
And yeah, I was 5.5 months postpartum, and they obviously they sample your urine. And she came back and she said, well, we're not going to be able to insert your IUD today. And I'm like, why? And she said, you're pregnant. And I said, what?
Oh my gosh, yeah. What was your reaction?
Yeah, immediately terrified, like
Yeah.
absolutely terrified. That's something that's resonated with a lot of moms because, you know, society tells you or makes you feel like anytime you get a positive sign that your immediate reaction needs to be overwhelming joy, right? But
Mhm.
for so many moms it's immediate, I'm scared and what the heck am I going to do now? And while I didn't experience that fear the first time, the second time, oh yeah, because I had a baby. I had
Yeah,
a
you have your
I
hands
had a
full.
I literally had a 5.5 month old at home. And I was just like, how am I was breastfeeding full time, which that is not foolproof birth control, just so people know. Um yeah, I wasn't planning on getting pregnant, but I did. And
Mhm.
then yeah, I found out that I was 12 weeks pregnant. So I was like pregnant,
Wow.
pregnant. Um, and my signs, like my symptoms that I experienced with my first pregnancy were completely they weren't existent to me because I was breastfeeding. So yes, I was hungry. Yes, I was thirsty, all the things, but I thought it was from breastfeeding.
Wow.
Yeah. And then another very memorable moment was the first time that Rose, my firstborn, realized that mommy had a belly now.
Hmm.
And she kissed it for the first time. I was sitting in my living room. I'll never forget it. It was the sweetest freaking thing. Um, yeah, oh my God, that's giving me like the knot in my throat thinking about it. I'll
Yeah,
never
that's making
forget
me
that.
want to tear up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, it was so cute because she was a baby. She was
Mm.
literally a baby. She was probably, God, when I was like big, she's probably 9 months old, something like that.
Did you explain
So,
to her like, oh, you're
yeah.
about to have a sibling?
Yeah, I
Okay.
did she wasn't even walking yet whenever I gave birth to my son, my second born. Was she was they're a year and 10 days apart.
Wow. So they're gonna be
Yeah.
best friends.
Oh yeah, they're either right now, they're either best friends or it's a WWE wrestling match in my living room, and it is so much chaos, but yeah, they love each other. Like she won't remember a time without him, I don't think, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Um And then another one of my favorite moments is my last picture that I took before I left for the hospital to take or to give birth the second time. I have a picture of her sitting on my belly, and it's the last picture of just me and her before Mr. Man came. And I'll
Oh,
never forget that either because it was so special. It was like, oh my God,
like we're about to
you're,
embark on a journey together.
yeah, like you're about to have another baby with me.
Yeah, wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's cool that she kissed the belly knowing like something is important in here.
Yes. I kept saying there's a baby. And she's like, oh, I said, give kisses to the baby. And she said, she's so cute.
That is
So
so
cute.
cute.
And now she's old enough, like at the time, obviously she's a baby, right? But I have photos of my maternity shoot on our wall. And now she's old enough to know that like babies are in the belly. And so she'll go up and she'll say, is this Rose in mommy's belly or is this Beckham in mommy's belly? And I'm like, that's Rose in mommy's belly. That's when you were in my belly.
Wow. She's
It's so cool.
smart.
She is smart as a whip. Yeah, she
Yeah.
is. Yeah, she's a little Einstein gal. Lots of Miss Rachel. Thank God for her.
Miss
Yeah.
Rachel,
You don't know Miss Rachel.
tell me all about her.
Miss Rachel is a, my gosh, she's my babysitter, my friend, my support. She's got a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And she does like educational videos starting at infancy and goes up to toddlerhood.
Okay.
When Rose, she wasn't even 15 months old. She was counting to five in Spanish.
Can I
Yeah.
even do that?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're a mom like that is okay with screen time, Miss Rachel is, you know, Miss Rachel.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write
Yeah.
that down in my head.
She's the best. And she, like, on her social pages, she's just always providing like constant support and for moms and stuff like that. She's a gem.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah.
she helped me teach both of them a lot. Yeah, she's great.
So how does she teach? What is her technique that makes kids
She
learn so
does, oh my
quickly?
gosh, like phonics, and I'm trying to think of what it's called. She explains it, but it's like talking in different pitches to get them to like capture their attention. And then
Okay.
she does like all the she teaches sign language. So like both of my kids know, or I mean, they speak now, but before when they couldn't speak, if they wanted milk, they knew to do this. They were saying, please, help, water. Is it water here or here? I can't remember now. I'm far into toddlerhood, but she she helps you communicate with them and they communicate back. And she also helps like my strong suit or what's not my strong suit in my motherhood journey is like imaginative play. Like that's the part of motherhood that is just I have to really force myself to do it. Like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And she just helps you like know what to say, how to speak to them to encourage development.
Yeah, because imaginative play is very important. Their imaginations are
Very,
crazy at that age.
yes, very, very, very. Yeah, she's very helpful. I majority of my mom friends use Miss Rachel. She's just her YouTube account has blown up. She even has a doll now. I think that's sold at Target.
Oh, does it speak?
Yeah, it speaks. It like says her little songs and stuff. Yeah, she has like a color song. She has a song about this has helped my toddler. She has a song about like big feelings and how
Okay.
to calm down and how to take deep breaths. And so when my 3-year-old is having a moment and she is not speaking respectfully, which, okay, fine, you're 3,
Mhm.
I'll literally look at her and be like, do you need to calm your body down? Should we take some deep breaths? And then she's like, and then she'll tell me, big feelings are okay, mommy. I'm like, yeah, they are. She learned that from Miss Rachel, not I.
Yeah, so this ties into the gentle parenting a little bit.
Yes.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Gentle parenting is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It really, really pushes you, not only as a parent, like as a human being, because it's so much easier, especially when you're dealing with children who don't know how to regulate their emotions. It's so much easier to just be the voice of command and you're going to listen to me. I'm older than you, and kind of scare them, for lack of better words, into listening to you.
Mhm.
What's really hard is to control your emotions. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have a whole series on my TikTok about relatable gentle parenting because there are moments where I fail. There
Mhm.
are moments where I don't regulate myself first. I react first. Like, Beckham went through a really bad biting phase, so did Rose. Totally normal. But in those moments when it's happening, it's almost human nature to react, right? And you have to remember, oh, wait, I'm the adult. I'm showing these little humans how to be a human for the first time, and they don't know how to regulate their bodies and calm themselves down. And then they see mom explode, and then it scares them. Gentle parenting is all about, I think it should be called respectful parenting, I guess is what I want to say. It's literally just treating your kids with the respect that they deserve. At the end of the day, they're a human being. They deserve respect, and respect is earned, not given. So
Yeah.
if you're not giving them respect, what's going to make them respect you? I think there's a huge difference between respecting your parent and fearing your parent. Both will make you listen.
Mhm.
Both will make you understand your boundaries, but one of them is not great. Like, no, you don't want to fear your parents. You don't want to be scared of them, right? I
Yeah.
want them to come to me when they need me,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. You want to build that strong relationship of mutual
Yes.
respect, understanding, empathy.
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing too. Like, when I do mess up, when I am not regulated and I just react, I raise my voice. Like, there's been times when you've just finished cleaning the house and then your 2-year old takes their bucket of goldfish and throws it all over the house. And immediately you're like, no, why did you do that? Right? And then you scare them and they look at you and they're like, huh, I don't know. And you just have this moment where you're like, what am I doing? Right?
Mhm.
Um, and then you have to regulate yourself. And in those moments that I mess up, because I'm human, I mess up, I
Mhm.
always make sure to repair. And everything that I've learned about gentle parenting is that the repair phase is one of the most important phases. So if you do mess up, you have to take accountability and apologize and explain why you shouldn't have done that. I should not have raised my voice at you. You are just exploring the food. I shouldn't have
Mhm.
raised my voice at you. Food is for eating. Let's not throw the food on the ground. Okay? Food stays in your bowl. And that's that. If you're missing that step, then they start associating my mom gets mad at me and yells at me. In the worst cases, hits me whenever I'm not listening, right? And that's
Mhm.
not obviously gentle parenting. We're not hitting our kids, period.
Yeah,
Just don't.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
So the repair phase is apologizing, explaining why you did what you did, and then
Hmm.
teaching them something.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I like
And
that.
just letting them know that, like, you make mistakes too. I feel like our generation, our parents, that's what they lacked. If they, gentle parenting wasn't really a thing, right? Now it's like
Mhm.
millennial parents want to do better,
Mhm.
but generations before us, still to this day, have a hard time taking accountability when they mess up. They
Yep.
think because I am your elder,
Mhm.
you need to respect me and I can still talk to you however I want to talk to you. And it's like, no, you don't get to do that. And when you mess up, you have to apologize. And an apology goes such a long way. Like,
Mhm.
it goes so far. It's admirable to be able to be like, hey, I messed up. I shouldn't
Yeah.
have done that. Right?
Yeah.
That's I watched a video I'm pretty sure he is a professor, actually, who was talking about parenting, and he said the way to be the best parent is to think about your best coach and model that behavior. What did your best coach do? They lifted you up. They held you to a certain standard, right? They had boundaries with you,
Hmm.
constructive criticism, but at the end of the day, they were always there for support. And
Yeah.
then you think about your worst coach, and they're the ones that are yelling at you, telling you, do it again, you're doing it wrong, belittling you. That's what you don't want to do.
It never works.
It never works. It never, you end up hating those coaches. You hate those teachers. You're like, I never want to be in your class again. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What quotes have helped you throughout your journey?
So that's another thing that I talk about in my series because there's so many resources online for gentle parenting. There's great podcasts. There's accounts that specifically talk about gentle parenting and what to do, but no one really talks about how to regulate you. Like how, okay, I know what to do, but how do I get there?
Hmm.
Like I know that that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I'm supposed to calm myself down, speak from like a calm place and teach my kids their boundaries. But what if I can't do that? For me, what helps is literally like resetting my nervous system. So I will jump around. I will literally like hardwire reset my body, take deep breaths. And the quote that I live by is your motherhood outlives you. And what that means to me is that the choices I make now are going to outlive me, right? Like
Hmm.
my kids' future and how they want to parent and the type of stories that get told to my grandkids, all of that stuff, it starts now.
Hmm.
So I will literally tell myself that in my head over and over again. Your motherhood outlives you. Your motherhood outlives you. Your motherhood outlives you. And it kind of resets me and makes me think about the bigger picture. Like
Hmm.
these little kids aren't giving me a hard time, they're having a hard time. I am the adult. I have to speak from a regulated place. I have to show them how to regulate your emotions. If that means
Hmm.
jumping around and spouting out some stuff, then that's that's what I'm gonna do. You know?
Yeah, it's so much more than what's happening right now. It's like
Yes.
they're gonna remember this forever. They're
Yes.
gonna remember all these little moments with you and how you taught them when the mistakes you made, how you apologized, and they're gonna do that with their kids.
Yes.
It's
And
important.
the goal is to just keep getting better, right? So
Mhm.
if I'm going into my parenting journey with with the mindset of being this intentional, right? Like every move that I make is intentional to hopefully help you be an even better version of me.
Mhm.
Then that trajectory just keeps going. So then my kids, if they want to have kids, if they don't, then fine. But if they do, they want to be even better, and then we just keep moving up instead of being in like this place where we have to constantly compare and well, I did my best because that's generations before us, that's what they like to tell us, right? It's
Mhm.
like no one's saying that you didn't do your best,
Mhm.
but we have the resources and the research to know how to do it better now. So now we want to do it better.
Mhm.
That's it. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Final question. What advice would you give to other expectant mothers who are about to embark on this journey and listening right now?
um the best thing that I have learned is to just do what you think is best for your baby. There is so much advice out there, and there is very passionate people on every side of the spectrum, right? You have people that are very passionate about natural birth. You have people that are very passionate about epidurals. You have people that are passionate about formula feeding, breastfeeding, co-sleeping, not co-sleep training, like all baby-led weaning, purees, like all these different things. And at the end of the day, every baby is different. Having two has totally taught me that.
Mhm.
And you just have to do what's best for you and your baby. If that means, for instance, just an example, both of my kids, they're 2 and 3. I get so much heat for this online, by the way. Um, they still drink their milk from a bottle, right? And in the speech pathology world and the pediatric dentistry world, you don't want to have a baby on a bottle past a year. Well, I know that. I know that to be true, but they are so attached to it, specifically for milk. It's really just like a comfort thing,
Mhm.
3 times a day. But taking it away from them doesn't feel right to me. And they're okay.
Yeah.
They're at the end of the day, they're okay.
Mhm.
I'm not jeopardizing anything. Their teeth are fine. They go to the pediatric dentist. They get good checkups. They can speak. So I think it's about outweighing the pros and the cons and thinking, oh, am I going to get judged for doing something that I'm not supposed to do? The books say I'm not supposed to do this.
Mhm.
Well, your baby isn't a book.
Yeah.
It's an individual, and sometimes you just have to ride the wave with the baby.
Mhm.
That's my advice.
And there's so much contradicting information. One book will
Yes.
say, use the bottle, don't use the bottle. So if you just do things based on the book, you're going to get nowhere. So
Right.
it's about trusting your gut and knowing your baby.
100%. 100%. And there's even contradicting information throughout different cultures. Like you'll read something that's been published from somewhere overseas, Japan or the UK, that's totally different from
Mhm.
something from the States or from Canada or Mexico. Like there's so much conflicting information that at the end of the day, if your baby is loved, fed, and their life is not in jeopardy, you just do what the baby wants you to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do what your mother intuition is telling you, what that gut feeling is telling you, and you're going to be okay. It's going
Yeah.
to be okay. I tell people all the time, my kids are not going to go to college with a bottle.
Yeah.
Okay? Like they're they're babies. They're 2 and 3, freshly 2 and 3. They just turned 2 and 3. It's at the end of the day, is it really that big of a deal? It's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not. So that is my advice. You just do what you're going to do. You mind your own motherhood. You stay in your lane and you do what's best for you and your baby.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madison. You've
Yeah.
been listening to Baby Steps, sponsored by Oxford and Soho Baby. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
You've been listening to Baby Steps, sponsored by Oxford and Soho Baby. If you're in the market for a new crib, glider, dresser, or more, we'd love for you to check out our line of furniture. Head over to oxfordbabyandkids.com or sohobaby.com. All links are within the show notes. For more information as a listener, enter the code PODCAST10 for 10% off your total purchase, plus free shipping on all orders over $799. Thanks for listening and tune into our next episode. Bye for now, and remember, every step is a step towards progress. We hope today's story gives you the confidence and the assurance that every journey is different, but we do it together.